Welcome back to Chapter 7, Selenium C# Made Easy. Today I'll be discussing about how to check if the web element is present or not. Okay, so I'm going to create another test case here. I'll rename it as 002 verify web element login. I'll copy the test cases that is written earlier. Copy the reference as well. Okay. Now go to the Catalan recorder. Go to the exporter. When you go to the exporter, you can see some part of the code is automatically generated. Example, I'm going to look into this one. This is called a method that can be used to verify or check whether that element is present. Element means this admin, this is text box is an element, this password is an element, login button is an element. Okay, so I'm going to copy down this portion of test case, portion of this code, close it, and going to copy this into a general common method. Okay. Okay, so I need to put it under a method. Before copying it, just copy this down and name this as you can put the same name. Then okay, you can see an error right now. Because you see this function, I written a function here, function or a method called as is element present. I'm passing a driver and passing the by. So by means by.id, by.name, by.xpath or by.css selector, things like that. Okay, so it shows that tries driver.find by that element. It could be a ID, name, class, etc. And it shows return true. If it is web element is found, return the value true. True means returning 1. Here it shows, here it is a catch. If it doesn't exist, it returns 0. But this is showing an error. It shows that return is void. A return key must not be followed by an objection expression. If you mouse hover over on the red line, you can see that, which means this function, as now it shows that it's void. Void means does not return anything. If you want to return anything, I need to replace it. What do you want to return here? You want to return true or false, whether the web element is present or not. Means here, whether this admin, I'm going to test whether this admin text box is present or not. Okay. So for that, I need to write it as Boolean. Bool. So bool is a word. When you type that bool, that error has been vanished. So it's going to return you a Boolean value. Boolean, you must have heard about Boolean algebra. So Boolean means 0 or 1, yes or no, true or false. There's only two ways. We have to know in our method, in our test case, whether that specific web element is present or not. So now I have written a test case, written a portion of a method called public bool is element present. Now I'm going to copy. Now I'm going to call this from verify element login.cs test case. This test case. Okay, you see here, this is a test case. Okay, we have everything here. I just copied this portion from the test case number 1 and this portion of the test case as well. I just copied from test case number 1 and pasted it over here. I just put only initiated the web Chrome and object and driver queue and catch exception. Of course, when exception, you must have seen in the last video that when test case fail, I'll take the snapshot, and that we have discussed already. Okay, here I'm going to type, I have to navigate, right? I'll have to write object test space dot navigate to website, correct? Driver, small letter. Here again, object test space dot. So here that method is present here because this is his element present. This is the method that we have generated right now, created right now. Okay, now dot navigate dot is element present. Okay, now we can see your driver. You have to pass two parameters. One is driver, and another one is, you can see, by dot by. So here I'm going to pass by dot id so which ID I'm going to pass? I'm going to pass the ID for this admin, which means the user ID. Okay, so user ID is exactly user here. This is the user ID. Okay, I just copy this user and paste it over here. Okay, right now I'm going to do a debug session. So I'm going to run this as debug mode, debug test. Okay, now I'm going to press F11 so that it will go to the function. It will go into this function is element present. I'm going to press F11. Okay, came over there. Now I'm going to press F10. You see here, okay, you can see the here by ID user. So user has been passed here. I'm going to click on F10. Okay, now what's the value? Okay, so it returned the value 1 here. It didn't go to this cat section. Okay, now we're going to check, click again F10. So see here, it returned 1. Okay, which means of test case, which means that web element is present. You can see that test case is fast. Okay, I will go here. Recently I have changed the website link. You can use this because this has got some limitation. Instead I'm going to use another URL. So that URL is, I'm going to copy this down here. So you can use this one. Okay, so let me run this again. Yeah, you can see the test case passed. So similarly, I can test for other web elements as well. So for the what you should be doing is just copy down this here and come over here, password, pass. If you want to pass this as, let's run this again. Get verified username, password, and close the browser. Test case passed. So you can also pass by dot name, tag name, class name, whatever you want. Okay, so depending on which is a stable ID in the website. Okay, next is I'm going to show you if that element is not present, then the test case should fail. So I'm going to capture the status using a variable. I'll type it as Boolean. Status of user text web element. I created a variable which is a Boolean, and that will return you either 1 or 0, either true or false. If it is present, it will return you 1. If it is false, it will return you 0. So if it is false, then I'm going to write a if condition stating that test case should fail. If it is passed, okay, give a beautiful console.writeLine display stating that test case passed. I'm going to write that right now. So I'm going to replace this and put over here. So this shows that I can do the same thing for It's for user. Okay. So I put this. I can do the same thing for password as well. Okay, I don't want this anymore. So status of pass. Okay, so I have to pass the ID as PASS right here. ID as pass. So now I'm going to write a logic here using if. If you can select here, if status of user web element is equal to double equal false, it automatically created open and close parenthesis. If the status of user text element is false, then print test case fail. Console dot write line. What you should write inside? I should write test case failed as user ID text box is not present. Okay, if there's a is, there's an else condition as well. Okay, else what I will be writing, copy this line of code, and write test case passed as user ID text box is present. Okay, here I need to write one more logic. Even test case fails, in this scenario it will, if it goes to here, if the status is equal to false, it will print this. When after that it will go here and it will create the driver and it will show the test case passed. But okay, I'll learn that and show you. It shows the test case passed, but we need to make test case fail. So what I should type here is, as I described in my earlier chapters, I have to make the test case forcefully fail because it's going to the false. If it's going to the false, yes, yeah, I could have done one more thing. Example, I'll put user 1. Okay, I'll put user 1. That means definitely test case should fail. I'll run it again. Yeah, it shows a test case passed here. Okay, but it should not pass because there is no such ID called user1 is available in here. You see here, Catalan Studio, there is nothing called user1 here. I just purposefully put user1. So in order to make forcefully the test case to fail, I should type, as I explained earlier, driver dot find element by dot ID inside the ID I'll type some junk text, junk ID. which means this junk ID is not present. So it will hit on this line and it will go to the catch and shows that test case failed, and that test case fail will be indicated here. Let's run this again. Yes, you can see that now test case failed, and you click on here, you will see the output. Yeah, it shows that test case fail as user ID text box is not present. Debug trace error, test case failed. Let's see the flow using a debugging session. Okay, hit on the breakpoint right now and you press F11. So when into the function, and I can press F10. Line by line F10. If you want to go into the function like common.1.cs from the test case, you need to press F11 as I explained earlier. So it right now is going to return false. Why? Because there is no element called user1. It returned false. Now you look at here, the status is false. So false. Status of user ID text web element is returning value false, and that false is equal to the false. So in that case, it will print test case failed, and it will click on the junk ID, forcefully making it to go to the catch. Thus, it takes the snapshot, recruit the driver, and again, it will show the test case fail. Yeah, fine. So this is how you will be writing a code to verify whether the web elements in a web page are present or not. So we are using a pull function for that. That's right here. Okay. So this is a simple and easy way of identifying or checking or verifying whether the web elements are present or not. So I'll keep posting more advanced verification methods in the later video. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe us. Thank you.